cozy.
All right, it's 5:30. I'm going to go ahead and call the November 16th meeting of the Hammond Downtown Development District for November. Oh, wait, we have a public hearing meeting first. What meeting do we have? Okay, so first we're calling the notice of public meeting on the nominations for the West Side Property and Business Owners seat.
I just want to note too that you can make nominations, we can make nominations here, or the deadline to nominate is December 2nd. And you can do that either through email or with a form to the DDD office.
Do we have any already?
No, but there are several people that are interested.
Okay. And do we have any here tonight?
Either, I think.
I think either
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to nominate someone, or
be nominated. Jessica?
And I also have in here for y'all the 3 letters from the largest assessed property owner and their nominations. Hancock Whitney Bank nominated John Exnicius, First Guaranty Bank nominated Evan Singer, and Regions nominated Kaylee Norton. And after we get the nominations for the West Side by the 2nd, all of this information will be checked and then sent to City Council for their approval.
So we actually, as of today, we still don't have any, so this seat is still completely open, okay?
Well, this is the first time we're accepting
Well, I get it.
nominations
Well, I mean, you got those in writing.
from the largest assessed
Yeah.
property owners. This is a different process. So this is the opening of accepting nominations.
All right, well, if there aren't any, a public meeting will be held as follows. What is it supposed to be there?
it's just.
Oh, it just moves on to our meeting, okay.
Yeah.
All right, now we're
Yeah.
calling our meeting to order, okay. Now we'll call the meeting to order. Chelsea, roll call.
Frank DiVittorio,
Here.
John Daniel Garan, John Exnicius, Elsbeth Hollywood. Here, sorry. Cassie Reagan,
Here.
Evan Singer. Here. Brian Wong.
All right. Old business, approval of the October 2022 financial report. Sorry, trouble reading tonight. Anything noteworthy, Chelsea, you want to point out?
Nothing out of the ordinary, no.
All right, any motions?
I move we approve.
Frank DiVittorio,
Yes?
John Daniel Garan, John Exnicius, Elsbeth Hollywood. Yes. Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Brian Wong.
All right. Approval of the minutes from the October 18th, 2022 meeting. That should be the 19th, right? They're dated 19.
No, it's the 19th.
The agenda's wrong.
Oh.
We can update that.
I'm gonna do just, it's probably unnecessary, but just for clarity, I'm gonna make a motion to amend the agenda just to correct that it's the October 19th, 2022 minutes for approval.
I'll second.
Frank DiVittorio,
Yes.
John Daniel Garian, John Exnicius, Elizabeth Hollywood,
Yes.
Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Brian Wong.
Okay, I move that we accept the October 19th minutes.
I'll second.
Frank DiVittorio,
Yes.
John Daniel Garian, John Exnicius, Elizabeth Hollywood,
Yes.
Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Brian Wong.
All right. The new business, design committee report.
Okay, so we met on November 3rd, and it was a pretty short meeting. Discussed a little bit about the downtown welcome sign, which we've hired Roy Dufresh to do design, and he'll be working with the city to make sure we accommodate the signage that they want to use. And so just some discussion. We didn't even look at any designs or anything. We had a little bit of discussion about the history panels, and then Roy Dufresh went over the changes that 113 Restaurant is putting together. It wasn't an official, like, submittal to approve or anything, just more of a, hey, this is what they're going to do, and just get any feedback if we had it. So those are actually in your packet if you want to see them.
What are they trying to do?
They are getting rid of the parking that's right in front of the building and turning that into like an urban, yeah, it's great.
Are there gonna be
It's
tables
nice.
there?
They're gonna have tables and fire pits and all kinds of stuff, so it'll look a lot better on that corner without having that parking.
Yeah, we're only like 3 parking spots anyway.
Yeah, I think he said that once they put the parallel parking spots in, that we were only losing
Yeah,
one space.
1 or 2, it's
Yeah.
not many, so. And that was it, that's all we did. Y'all have any questions? Move on to Railroad Park.
All right. If there's no discussion, comment? All right.
Jessica Shirey, I'm with the Historic District Commission, so that did come before us at the Historic District Commission, and it's still in the stages, and through the process, he's brought it to us in increments there's been some adjustments to it, probably not from what you have, because it looks consistent with their latest, but they are getting that approved through concept through this process.
Right.
Until it's not finally approved, but yeah.
Are we coordinating with y'all? I know it comes up every now and then, some kind of DDD liaison or something mixed in with the historic district. Has that been happening at all?
That's what John's supposed to be.
There's yeah, and just throwing my opinion out there as far as that goes, it's very difficult to have a liaison that's a dual board member. Not saying that a dual board member is not okay. The problem comes in is that there's a recusal from one or the other. And it does become a little bit, and I understand that, like, in theory, it seemed like a great idea, and I'm not, against
I
the
don't
dual.
think it was a dual board member we were talking about. I think it was just someone that either somebody from the DDD that went to the meetings or came.
John's on both boards.
Right, no, we talked about having
That was the
some,
purpose of it kind of in the beginning. And it's not that that's not, it doesn't seem to be necessarily efficient in the way that it maybe in theory was thought to be. And that's nobody's like fault or anything like that. It just becomes, there are certain things that become difficult to, so like he could say something to you guys that has to do with the historic district, but then that would force him to recuse from a vote on your board. So let's say if you have
Railroad
something.
Park, he had to do that.
Right, so if you have a board and you obviously need a quorum for a vote, and so if, let's say, a board, you have 3 board members out today, you have just the quorum. But let's say if one of you were compromised in whatever way, then it would put you in a bind,
Yeah,
say,
I don't know,
tonight in
maybe I
that
was-
situation.
maybe I was out of the loop. I didn't think we were talking about having a voting person, but that's okay.
No, we just talked about having communication and dialogue between the two, because occasionally there are things that come up where
Right.
both entities might need to have some say in something. That's all that we had talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it's not, who that person would be that would be a non-voting member on both, on either or both, whatever.
I don't mean a
boards?
member, like, I'm just meant somebody that was in touch, like, I thought they were going to the meeting we had talked about, but just somebody that was keeping track of what y'all had coming before y'all and keeping track of what we had coming before us, so that it wasn't, they weren't getting things like, y'all were telling them one thing and we were telling them the exact opposite, where they're kind of bouncing back continuously between, two points. I just thought that was,
Well,
So can you give me an idea of what you're speaking of? Because you're saying a person going back. and
I
forth. The
honestly
applicant
think
would
that
be-
we should, talk to the design
That's-
committee and talk, this is, right.
okay.
We don't need to.
That's fine. I was just,
yeah.
But I was just pointing those things out. This has gone through its process. It's not final through, just figure out through that.
Thanks, Jessica.
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
All right, staff board, okay, are you done? You good? Or is there something?
No, I'm then done with mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Railroad Park, brick and bench sales.
just wanted to give y'all an update like we do every meeting. I've got 2 things for you on its front and back. The back of this paper is just the benches and the bricks that we have sold and what we have remaining. I know the list is in small print because we're selling more and more bricks, which is great. But we've got 252 bricks remaining that we're really gonna try to push for December. And then there are 3 benches remaining, several groups that are interested, but we won't count them until we get the check. But on the front of this, I'm kind of talking about this and the history panels together, because one of the questions for the history exhibit is, we have this grant that the state gave us, but what other funds do we have for Railroad Park? And the intent of the bricks and the benches is to develop the remaining projects in Railroad Park. So you can see on here, these are all estimates, because I don't know how many logo bricks we'll sell versus text bricks and all of that. But if you take all of our expenses and what the money that we have made, it's about $40,000 that you can put into other projects in the park. And this is all in a park project account that's how the city has it organized. So we know that those history plaques, Roy knows that they're going to be, he's trying to get quotes for us, and we know that they're going to exceed this $7,000 grant, so we want to make sure that we kind of get some more information and figure out what that budget, something that's obtainable for that budget that meets these numbers. So that's what we're working on right now in the early stages of that. That's really it for brick and benches. We really want to try to push this in December and order in January, February, so we can install the remaining next spring. And then the history exhibits right now, Michelle, you want to give an update?
Sure. So you all approved the topics last meeting, and we had some plans to work with the Historic District for a trivia night, and unfortunately, we were not able to see that through on the date that we had selected. All partners have been informed of that, and we do plan to convene the group once we have a little less on our plates with the Starry coming up and the holidays and short work weeks. So I'm thinking sometime in December, try to get everyone back together and put a more of a firm plan together that everyone can agree on for the new year and kind of start off on a little bit of a better foot. On the back end, though, Ashley Tarleton is the graduate student who is at the Southeast Louisiana Center Studies. I probably messed up that name, but at Southeastern, she works under Dr. Hyde. And we're able to pull archives from them. We have those in our office now, which actually took quite a bit of time because it's kind of an interesting process that they have. You just can't do scanned copies. It's like the whole thing. So anyway, we were able to get all of the archived information from the library that in her first scan pertained to the exhibits, and we'll be able to bring that forward to the work group in December to start really coming through and fine-tuning those narratives now that we have those topics settled. And then I think moving forward, what we've learned is that, we've got to get everyone on the same page. And since it's a really dynamic group with a lot of busy schedules and it's a really cross-partner project, we just need to make sure that we, in the spring, have the time between all of our other events to focus on it. So I think we'll move forward positively in the new year and be able to put some more meat to the project. This fall season has been really, really busy for us. So I think we'll convene sometime in December, but otherwise that's kind of where we're at with that. I don't think there's been any more communication from the state, but we have a pretty generous timeline through the end of the fiscal year for 2023. So by the end of July is whenever I think they're expecting deliverables. So we still have a pretty generous timeline. And like Chelsea said, we're getting Roy to estimate the cost of the plaques, lead time for those. I know Cassie mentioned that last meeting. And so he's sourcing a few companies that are the most cost efficient, but also have a really good look of what we're looking for. So he's going to present a few options to us soon, so we can kind of take a look at those and see what our best option is.
Thank you. At the last meeting, we had a citizen that was here. Were we able to communicate with them or at least get them on board to kind of schedule some of their timeframes too? Because I know that LaToya was like very interested in getting involved.
Yeah, I sent her an email, just kind of letting her know we didn't have any firm dates. But once we have a date with our work group, definitely going to plug her into all of that. She works really closely with Shauna Seals too. She's on our work group. But yes, so the more people who want to be involved, the better. And we want to make sure who wants to be involved gets all the information.
All right. Farmers market report.
Just a general update for y'all. You guys approved the logo and we changed you wanted to change the script. So we changed the script. It's in your binders. I know that a lot of those aren't clickable, but it's.
Can you pull that up, Michelle, on the thing?
I can pull it up on our website so you can see what the updated version looks like. It's not linked in the.
I also have in here just the press release for moving into the park. We've got 50-ish vendors.
44, but we tend to add more.
Confirmed for Saturday. Benny's will be at the market too, and so will Tommy's Pizza, doing breakfast pizza. And we've got music and lots of exciting things. You want to add anything else?
No, it's just a lot of logistics, firming up the closure with the streets department. We got the equipment delivered today, so we have the barricades on site, the traffic cones, the no parking signage has been installed temporarily on the lamp posts. I talked to Roy about those, and he did say that maybe installing them in the planters would be a more long-term option that would look a little bit better for the park, so that might be something to explore. But we've got 6 signs on the park side of Railroad and then 2 on the post office side for no parking between 5 and 1 p.m. on Saturday. The cones we'll use on Friday afternoons to just kind of get people in the habit of not parking there overnight, just so we don't have to wrestle cars Saturday morning. I think other than the logistics of that and working with the streets department to make sure we can do that sustainably.
We had a volunteer, that's so loud. We had a volunteer work day at the Feed and Seed on Sunday. And there was about 10-ish of us there, and we were able to move all the tents, the tables, most of the equipment. We were able to clean out the Feed and Seed. We were able to move 90% of the things that we have at the Feed and Seed, except for the community garden. I think once we get through Thanksgiving, we can focus on that. And it's all been moved to the DDD office, the storage closet. It all fits in the storage closet, except for the wagons and the picnic tables are in the back, like behind the stage area. So.
Behind the stage is where we're storing a lot of our outdoor stuff. So I think we're just kind of in prep mode for Saturday, and otherwise, you know, just, I know Denise is here, so she's one of our market veterans, and we're all just going with the flow. I'll be out there at 6 a.m. just making sure that everything goes smoothly. But we've got the map together. Most people are satisfied with their spots, and it should be a really good use of the park every Saturday, and everyone's really excited that it is going to be back in the center of town. And with the street being closed, it just allows us to have more space to expand. So should be a good day, Saturday. Good. It will be busy, but it will be good. We will have merch available for sale as promised, so T-shirts and tote bags with our new logo, and we have a ton of new, like we have our tents and signicates, a lot of more marketing and signage available on site too. So we're busy, but we're excited for the big day Saturday.
And we have more electricity now in there, outlets or whatever.
Much more stronger capacity for electricity. So basically, any vendor who requires electricity for their setup, they are setting up in the park. We're not running electricity to the street at this time.
Good. And what happened with the mailbox? Did we address them? Is the mailbox got a solution?
The post
long-term?
office is on board. The postmaster, he basically, he is supportive of us doing this, and if there are any issues that arise, then we will address them when they arise. But he does not see any issues federally, and I know he's spoken to the mayor about it. So he's on board, and we've been in communication for dates and the closure and the logistics and all those types of things. So if anything glaring were to come up, then we will address it when it happens.
Seems like we've got everything that we can foresee at this point addressed to the extent we can.
I think to the best of our ability, yeah.
All right.
And y'all can tell me that this can be like coffee talk, or I can go and meet with somebody else or later on, but do we have a plan or anything what we're gonna do with the Feed and Seed? Because I know it was empty before, and I'm coming in on the tail end of this.
It's not our building.
It's not?
Our lease is up at the end of this month, and it's the owner's decision what to do with it.
Okay, that was my next question. Okay.
All right. Events report. Well, I'm sorry. Anything else? Events report.
Picnic in the park, I don't have any documents for that, but we just had our last one, November 4th, and there was a lot going on that day, and it rained the last 30 minutes, but there was still a good crowd, and this is an easy one. The restaurant owners like this one. A lot of them do quick grab-and-go boxes and things like that for picnic in the park, so we're going to try to do some surveys and things for the end of the year and see what events people like, what they actually went to, things like that. And hopefully when we talk about this 2023 planning, we can kind of figure out what picnic in the park looks like for next year. But the biggest two things for us are Starry November Night and Shop Small Saturday. Starry November Night, we have the brochures that were just printed. It's turned into be a really big day. So there really are things going on from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Lots of retail shops with special things to do. A lot of the restaurants have special things to do and live music. Even the professional services, True Title, they called me today and said they're having an artist and a DJ, and Ashley said that they're doing a huge grazing board. So when you come in and get your wine, instead of just getting a sample of cheese, she said it's going to take up a whole table. So lots of people getting really excited about that. A lot of artists are going to be in shops as well. And we've got a few from the Hammond Art Guild that are going to be setting up in some of the businesses. We just set up another one today in Courtyard Cafe. So lots of things. We still need volunteers. I think we have volunteers for the wine walk from the Kiwanis Club to help give out those glasses and check IDs, but the biggest part is going to be Starry Night in Kate Square. That's where we have the most moving parts, and Evan filled out the form to volunteer, but everyone else can feel free to volunteer, and we would appreciate the help. So that's where Santa is, and some of the restaurants are setting up pop-up places there with to-go food, and the train that we always do, and just kids' activities. So,
Thank you for reminding me, by the way.
oh, you were going to get an email tomorrow, yeah. Oh, Smile Doctors, they are always interested in supporting the DDD, and they actually sponsor the event, a $2,000 sponsorship, and they just set up in the park, and it's an easy sponsorship for them.
We don't have any way of, we don't have any head counts or anything on crowd estimates on the picnics in the park, do we? I mean, there's no way, it's open, I mean, there's no way to really,
Well, it really just depends on the season and the day, because there are ones where we have estimated around 300 people, but then there are others where the weather's not as good, and like this last one, there was maybe 50 to 70 people there, maybe less. So it just varies on what's going on and what the weather looks like.
well, that's what that's kind of what I'm at, like, do we have, so the last one, you think there was about 50?
10 of them were my family.
I think there were a little bit more than 50.
And that's
there
just,
was-
y'all are just guesstimating that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was, like significantly reduced crowd at the last one. There was a lot going on, the weather, and the time change hadn't happened yet, but since the weather was so weird, it was significantly less.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's not like a way that we can't,
We have these,
We have clickers.
yeah, but you're roaming around. I mean, I don't know, I guess it's better than eyeballing, but it's not like, we're not selling something that's gonna create a count, and we're not, anybody can wander in from any angle of the park, so.
Yeah.
2023 planning.
Well, the last one I have is Shop Small Saturday. This is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we promote it like we always do. We just got all the bags in of tote bags and stickers and just a lot of fun things that we give out, and we'll start advertising that on Monday, and we're gonna do the scavenger hunt. Talked to Cassie about the scavenger hunt, and that's something that the retailers like, and Amanda, you can chime in too. Tried to help plan a lot of this and figure this out, and met with Elsbeth and Cassie too, and we talked about doing this for Shop Small Saturday, and then maybe focusing in the summer on a bigger shopping campaign when things are slower. So that'll all be part of our 2023 planning. But for this, Shop Small Saturday, the event portion is just the Saturday, but then all season long, it's interns doing a lot of videos, it's a lot of advertisement. All of our billboards, our radio, and our social is going to focus on retail and bricks from Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's.
So two things. One, let me just ask, I know the interns are supposed to reach out to all the businesses in downtown to see if they want to do a reel or a story or something for their business. Can we get a schedule put together and let people know? Because I know there have been a couple of times when somebody walks in the store and goes, oh, I'm here, and you've got a shop full of people and you don't have time to do, and they go do something and you're not happy with what they do. So
we
if
have
get
a
schedule.
So let me ask you this. We have a form, and we actually put the intern schedule when they were available, and we were going to send the form to the retailers and say, hey, pick your spot. But a lot of times, everybody's too busy to fill out the form. So what's the best way to get with the realtors? Amanda, you can chime in too, but you check all of your stuff, right? Your emails and things like that.
We could do our own reel and submit it to y'all.
You can, either way.
That would be,
Yeah.
If they wanted to do it, do a sign-up genius, like where you actually put the times that the intern's available, and then the businesses can go in and actually sign up whatever time they want.
Yeah, that.
We could do it like that.
Something like that would be good. It's just, it's too awkward when you have 20 people in your store and
Right.
somebody walks in and they want you to stop what you're doing and try to do
Tell them what
that.
to record.
The other thing, I just have a question. I'm looking at this shop small section in here. What is shop small block party?
That's what we had it. So originally when we did the scavenger hunt, they go and get that's how we've branded it. But when you do the scavenger hunt, you can come back to the DDD and get those giveaway prizes. And TJ was there and did it live. And if y'all remember, he was walking the streets, and if he saw people shopping, he was giving away things. We don't have to brand it that way. That's how it was.
I was just asking. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. We could just call it Shop Small Saturday either way, but hopefully gonna get TJ out there and we'll set up the table of prizes too for people to redeem. So we'll have the prizes at the DD office till noon, but on the back of the card, it says if we're closed, here's what you do to get a prize, and we get with them and get their prize. So it's just for the day. No, till close of your business. Yeah,
But they don't have a way to redeem their thing after noon,
they do.
till Monday.
It's on the back of how, if you found a prize after noon, like 12 p.m. noon, if you found it after noon, then here's the steps you can take and we'll make sure we get you a prize.
What if they're from out of town?
Yeah, I don't.
We could mail it. That's what we've done. This is how we did it for COVID too. COVID, we didn't set up any table, and it worked just as well. We had the back, here's what you can do, and I think Katie, most people were from town, so Katie just delivered prizes, or we mailed them, and it wasn't difficult, but.
Okay.
The card says new, I mean, like, they know, like, if they get it at 1, they're not gonna make it, like, the card tells them the DDD will be
Yes.
closed at noon.
Yes.
Anything else? Anything else? 2023 planning?
So in the beginning stages of planning this, I usually like to kind of have some information before new board members come on. And what we talked about doing is more than just a little, like a 3-hour meeting or things like that. Possibly a weekend or 2 days of planning. And we have some possible dates here to do on the weekends, and none of this is set in stone, so it's really up for negotiation, but we do want to try to have a board orientation before our first board meeting on January 18th, Wednesday, January 18th. Some of the agenda topics that we've talked about, we always go through the master plan and we do a work plan review, and we see what goals we have for 2023, what items on our master plan can be accomplished. But a couple things that have come up is a marketing plan. How are we spending our marketing dollars? How are we supporting different categories of brick and mortar businesses? Also an event schedule. There's so many things to do that we really need to focus on setting our event schedule as early as possible in 2023 so we can plan very far ahead of time. That's a goal that me and Michelle have. Potential hosts and planners, Ray Scriber always comes. A couple other people that are in the Main Street community. Ben Muldrow, you can see on here, Arnett Muldrow. You can look them up, but they do planning for downtowns. That's what they do. They focus on economic development, they focus on marketing, retail market research, community branding, all of that. That's what their company does. And also Joe Borgstrom, he's from Place in Maine. He is a economic developer specifically for downtowns, and he's able to pull a lot of data to show run pro formas and things like that. It's really just up to you guys on what we want that meeting to look like. I have talked to both of them because they are at all of the Main Street meetings. They go to the communities everywhere. They love Hammond. They've been to Hammond several times, and they're happy to come back and happy to customize whatever we need to, however we want this meeting to look, they're happy to host it and lead it. So just a couple ideas for that.
Let's try to schedule a telephone conference with the executive committee and them so that we can kind of talk about that, because I think we want to, and the other consultant, the other consultant says that there's some strategic planners that they could recommend too, but, I mean, these sound like they're probably good enough to pick from, but I think we want to focus a little more on strategic planning this year. I don't know, I'm speaking for myself, so that's why I'm saying we need to have this telephone conference, but a little bit more on strategic planning and thinking long-term and where we're bringing the DDD than just kind of branding and stuff. So let's try to get a telephone conference set up with all three of them so they know kind of what we're thinking and what their kind of pitch is, and we can kind of try to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah, I would recommend them, and both of them is who Ray recommended. Ben is a little more focused on the marketing and events, and he can kind of tell you, here's where I think you should spend, and here's the data to show this versus this kind of thing. And then Joe is able to look at the master plan and look at those development strategies that we want to achieve, and they can kind of help with that portion of things. And they work together, so I'll set that up.
Let's see if we can get that before Thanksgiving, if possible.
Is there a part of that forum where merchants would have some input before going into, if it's gonna be several days, that there would actually be input from us?
There hasn't been before, but we can. We've opened it. So we haven't done this since COVID, so 2020 was the last one that we did, and there was a portion of it that was open to the public, and we didn't say what should be on our agenda beforehand, but we opened it up for a certain hours where people could come, we could all get on the same page and talk about ideas, so we did have that.
I think the whole thing is actually open to the public.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There was, I think what she means is there were allotted times.
We
that-
invited people, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing was, and I don't know, the retreat thing, I might have actually been the one that threw it out there, but I don't know if that's going to work either because of the public meeting laws, but they have been, we are talking about trying to figure out something, because what happens is we can't do it in a 1-hour meeting or 2-hour meetings or whatever. So we're trying to figure out a way to get a bigger block of time somehow where we can try to get some of the things that keep coming up every year to address and kind of move on. So I don't know how it'll ultimately work out. It's still early on, but previously they have always been public things that anybody, whether they were on the agenda, how that was, that anyone could have come and hung out with us the whole time.
And it might be worthwhile to send out maybe a survey before, just to get an input from everyone, merchants, business owners, property owners, what they would like to see us do.
It's not uncommon to have a day that this board or any commission sets aside annually, that you have a running list throughout the year of issues that you never thought you would have to, that are new, that are, whether they're adjustable or need to be adjusted or whatever, to discuss. I mean, you have a retreat day. It is public. It's open to the public.
It has to be.
They all come generally, but it's posted, it's noted, it is out there, so it's not uncommon for boards and commissions to do that.
The last time we did it was pre-COVID, and we did it here, and it was a work session or work day or whatever you want to call it. It was multi-hour, I think it was all day, actually, if I remember correctly. It's been 2 years now.
4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
We've done it in here.
That was different, I think, that or was it? Yeah.
So a retreat is great, but
Like, what I'm talking about is generally, it's a meeting. It's an informal meeting, meaning there's no voting that goes on.
Right.
There's nothing like that, but it is not a meeting for the public to necessarily engage. It's a public meeting, meaning they are here and can listen. And if there is a time allotted for some public input in between topics, that can be allowed, but it is a meeting for your board. to-
We've done it in the past, we just haven't done it the last couple of years.
Okay, he had just said that, I didn't know if there was I think, to paraphrase what you said, you didn't know if y'all could do anything about it.
No. I just meant a retreat style, I was kind of thinking, like, originally we were talking about a retreat, what I was kind of thinking of was a retreat kind of off somewhere, not off out of town, but just not in this room. But I think it's probably going to be like a
In
work
this room.
session, like just our normal work session that we normally do, probably on a Saturday.
Anything to improve communication, because just like Starry November, I think that just from the input in the meeting that we had with that, I think the avenue that it's going is gonna be a great one. So I'm excited about Saturday. I mean, all of my customers are excited about it, and it touches different targets all day long, and I think that's a wonderful thing for them.
And
So,
there should be a survey that comes out shortly afterwards too, because we are making this big change. We've already kind of discussed this is a drastic change from what Starry Night has been in the past. So I don't know, nobody knows what positive or negative feedback is going to come with that.
Amanda,
But
thank
we,
you for sharing it and pushing it too, because I've seen it all over your stuff, and we're trying our best to get it out too, so I appreciate that.
But we do want public feedback, because with the big change, we want it, you love, it sounds like you're really love this idea. I don't,
well, and it's nice to see my customers
Right.
excited about it, because they have all day long to do different things.
right.
I think it gives a lot more people when it's all day.
It's easier for us.
Like my son plays travel ball, so I'm gonna be playing ball in the morning, and then I'm able to come in the afternoon, and then vice versa. I actually had us cheer stuff in the afternoon, but then she's able to do stuff in the morning. So I think it engages a lot more people just when I play all day.
Anything else on the 2020 planning, Chelsea?
No.
Michelle? Staff report.
This is the last thing for me. There's really nothing on this other than the dates the office is closed, and the last day for interns is December 2nd. So with the executive committee, we've been running these Clockify reports, and this is a whole 17 pages of, from the last month, and you're able to see what we've worked on the most, the least, so you can see where we need help, what's taking up most of our time, and as you can see, most of this is events, is what we spend the most of our time on. Obviously, it's, our big event season. And admin work has taken the second largest portion. And then those are the two main ones. But everything is listed, more information than you really need. So I figured that this was a better, just to have it, and y'all are able to see what we've done. We can customize these reports any way you want, by person, by date, by category. They're not 100% perfect. It's still a learning curve for Michelle and I to make sure every time we sit down and do something, we're logging it. But for the most part, it's caught on for me. Michelle's still working on it. So we're getting there.
And this one includes, I know what we've talked about in our executive committee meetings is breaking it down, having a full report so we know, but breaking it down by person too. So, and I know we usually get those. Does this one include all the interns as well, or is this just you and Michelle?
So the ones that I've been printing for the board include all the intern work, but I can change this. So that's what this
No, I was
has.
just
Yeah.
curious, this one includes interns too.
Yes. That's all I have for me. If you know anybody that wants to intern for the spring, send them over. Between 4 and 6.
Any particular backgrounds or anything you're looking for, or just bodies?
Journalism, design, political science,
I really
anything.
would love a journalism student. We had 2 that worked with us, kind of informally almost, but having one on staff or as an intern would be really
Yeah.
helpful. They often
Marketing,
approach us,
mhm.
for Lions Roar and other opportunities, but we usually get business,
Communications.
graphic design, and then it is tough to find one for the farmer's market because of the Saturday schedule, but when people do it, they quite enjoy it.
Some ag majors, maybe.
For college majors, because Huntsville High has an intern program for their seniors, and the teacher there is Deborah Anderson, just happens to be a mom. But she's met with Melissa at the chamber, and they're going to try to do a partnership for next year, because my mom had already, given out all of hers, and she has accounting, marketing, business majors that are taking prep classes to go to Southeastern or to North Shore.
Yeah.
So, that might be a contact that you might want to get either from me or from Melissa, because I know at the last chamber meeting at Gabriel's, I know 3 or 4 businesses ended up meeting with my mom and taking interns.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that.
At Huntsville High, like, they're getting graded, so, like, she comes in once a quarter or maybe every other month, and she does like an interview process, like with you or with Michelle, that says, what can they work on? You know, is it their communication skills, or is it their writing skills, or are they showing up on time, or are they, you know, so there's a lot more follow-up and backup that you get, because there's 3 teachers that are also watching this
That's great.
as well.
Yeah, I'll call you about that. We need that.
And there may be beyond just Pascagoula, we have a lot of different, whatever, specialties in the different high schools, but the logistics, for the Southeastern might be a good idea as well.
I know that Hammond has the same program too.
Hopefully we'll teach them to do Excel and Word, because that's usually honestly what we have to do whenever they come into our office.
When I did mid-semester reviews, all of them said, we appreciate you teaching us how to use Excel. So that was fun.
What do they use now?
They don't use spreadsheets. They don't do that. That's beyond the point.
Spreadsheets are extinct now?
They don't do spreadsheets. They don't know anything about them.
I think the point is that whenever they come to us, they get a lot of real-world
They do.
experience, and they feel very prepared for the next job that they have, because it's kind of like learning by fire with a few of the things, but I think a lot of them are thankful at the end of it. So it can be kind of tough in the beginning. I think we really, especially in the fall, our fall interns are built differently. They have to.
Yeah.
All right.
And thank you for letting us know, too. I've seen the staff report, the office closures, that you're going to be closed Monday after starting November night, so that's good that we know that. I know it's going to be a long day for you.
Okay, that's it for my staff report.
Michelle, anything? All right. Employment matters, Michelle Kendall, executive session may be called. Does anybody want to go into executive session?
I think Michelle gets to decide if she wants to discuss in public or if she wants to have an executive session. It's the employee's discretion.
Executive session,
Okay.
start us off.
Well, before she makes a decision, can we have some insight on what this is? Like, is this just a review? Is this a certain matter? Because we don't have any context other than this statement on the agenda.
Well, I mean, you're aware we've been going over it's everything. I mean, it's a general matter discussion regarding employment matters, including the consultants' work that they've been doing, work gathering for that, anything related to employment. It's a broad topic as it is. A discussion regarding anything is on the table. So, they were notified of the agenda. They've had the agenda when
Just like 24 hours.
when the agenda was ready, yes. All right.
They've known that there's a
Yeah, they've known about the consultant. The consultant's been working with everybody for months now. I mean, it's not anything out of left field.
This was a little out of left field for me.
All right.
So I don't want mine to be an executive session.
Okay. Well, when we get to it, you'll have that decision.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Who seconded?
I did.
Evan.
Frank DiVittorio,
Yes.
John Daniel Garan, John Exnicius, Elsbeth Hollywood,
Yes.
Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Brian Wong.